Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And while I'm about to start, just know that I now have over 400 episodes where I talk about dating nightmares, and a lot of them are MAGA Republican, bigot, racist, you fill in the blank. Yeah, it's that demographic. And am I saying all Republicans are bigots? No, I'm not. A lot of them that write me, yes, but out there, no. There are some actual good hearted, like old school Republicans, but do I know many of them? Hardly. No. I don't. But okay, but yeah, go check out Dating Nightmares, and also know that on my Patreon I have well, no, I don't have all. I have so far many of the screenshots that I share on many of the episodes. I have over 300 to 400 more to upload of them being racist, bigot to me, or because yeah, calling me the N word or a slave or the R word and all that, whatever. But then also my medical nightmare, just started that series because it's crazy with how long I was undiagnosed and how I kept being blamed and I kept getting medically gaslit, which but now I'm hearing some people try to blame me, saying that I should have been on it earlier with finding out my diagnosis when I kept going to different doctors, or I tried to. But when I try to get to another doctor or a specialist, my doctor then not only stops me or tells me that I'm making it up and I just have to walk right, but then in my 20s, turns around and calls my mother to the point where, well, listen to the episodes and you'll catch up. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how can I sue, because this isn't a small deal. Some people are like, oh, who cares? It's like you're diagnosed now. But when it comes to employment, how many jobs ask me illegal questions? But since I didn't know I had a disability, it's like I didn't know what to say, how to prove it, whatever. And then with dating a lot of men, it's like I dated a lot of the awful men because my mom used to say, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. And then a lot of men would tell me, oh, you think you're so smart, but you can't even walk right. And it was to a point where it's like I allowed a guy to blackmail me because he kept saying, if you don't become my girlfriend, I'm going to off myself. And then after that awful, terrible relationship full of racism, hatred of a woman trying to better herself, and taking my money, and then only wanting to visit my parents so he could steal from my parents' house, etc. Yeah, go catch up on those episodes. Then dating a guy with no heart, almost literally, with after everything that he tried to do. So yeah, and that's kind of a separate part of dating nightmares, but I tell my medical history, my dating nightmare. I talk Reddit stories. I haven't in a long time, but I have a lot of screenshots of the topics I want to go to. And then, oh, River of Racism, Black Women versus. So, yeah, there's a lot of tidbits and a lot of things to cover. And that's why I have so far over 400 episodes within the last 2 years. Yeah, I think I'll be starting year 3 pretty soon. But anyway, let's get started because this is, oh yeah, I talk a lot of politics too. Yeah, I am a liberal progressive Democrat. Yay. And now I hear that Elon wants to add an American titled like situation shit. Like yeah, part of me is just like, okay, what is the basis? What is the American, like I would never align myself with that no good awful, in my opinion. In my opinion, he's an awful, terrible, bigoted jerk that only cares about himself, and that has literally said that empathy makes you weak until people try to burn down his cars and his dealerships. Then all of a sudden, why don't you guys have empathy for me? Boy, stop crying. Shut up. Anyway, and yeah, I won't even go down the road of him being the whole baby daddy situation. Ship. Ooh, he like he's almost a hot mess. Yeah, actually, he is more of a hot mess than me, but he has so much money that he can either cover it up or people look past his mess to the point where they even they congratulate him for being a no good baby daddy to so many women and not, well, anyway, let's just get down to today's topic, don't we? Okay. Because, okay, speaking of being a Democrat, liberal, progressive, and stuff, oh, now maybe you guys understand why we should not have such small government. Why we need, I won't even say like large government, but why we need a lot of people, especially like America. I believe we're like the third largest country in the world. And so for the third largest country, I think we have so many millions of people and so many millions of miles, yards, and everything in between, or whatever, acres, whatever, that maybe we need a lot of people to report the weather in all of the parts of the country because it varies. Our winters, some of you guys have never seen snow where you are, and I remember even with some of my family in Alabama, they were like, "Oh, well, there's no school today. We got an inch of snow, or we got a half inch, or whatever." And I just remember my family. We're like, "What? You got an inch? You guys shut down school over an inch?" So it's like, I mean, that's just one example, but it's like hurricanes and typhoons and everything. Or like, I mean, just even think about Louisiana years and years ago and everything. It's like, I think we had warnings, and I mean, it was still such a terrible situation, but I think we still had warnings. And now that I'm thinking about it, part of me wants to know, did the Orange Man, or is the Orange Man going down to Texas? Because remember, this Orange Man always put down Biden. Did he go down? Because even with the train wreck that happened in Ohio, you guys remember, you remember. The Orange Man kept saying, "Is he gonna go visit them? He's gonna go see them." I bet he's not going to. I bet he's not gonna see them. Bet he's not gonna like all this other stuff or whatever. So now, now we can ask, okay, Orange Man, are you going to go to Texas? Are you gonna see what's going on? Are you going to see why we need FEMA as well? Yeah, speaking of FEMA, yeah, yeah. It's like, are you going to go down there, even if it's just to throw around some rolls of paper towel? Remember when he did that? Remember when he did that? But yeah, we have people who passed away over something that they could have had warning. I won't even say better. I'll just say warning, because even on the nightly news or something, or some certain news stations and stuff, normally when there's going to be something that big, it's like other states usually get the hint of, oh, look what's going to be happening in this area. It's like, oh, if you have family in this area, warn them or tell them or whatever. I didn't hear it. No, I heard nothing. And then even when like looking at like being able to watch some of the Texas news on YouTube, I'm just like, did they get warning? I don't see them getting that good of a warning. And now I think they're saying around $1 billion or $1 trillion worth of damage. I want to know, how is the insurance down there? And, I mean, yeah, it's like on top of the almost 100 lives that were lost, but now like some people might have lost everything they have. and including their house, cars, and things like that as well. And yet, yes, you can replace things, but I'm just saying it's because, especially within our economy, with jobs and things like that, some people are already having such a hard time. So I'm thinking about those who we have lost because of the yeah, because yeah, remember who decided to fire all of these people? Because that's why it's like, yeah, you didn't think I mentioned them for a reason, but Elon fired all of these weather people. Elon fired all of these people. And he said empathy is for the weak. So it's like, first, it's like, before you even think about trying to be within his political party, maybe you need to examine what he thought or how he thinks of what is going on right now. Because, like, oh, I mean, we can't leave out the orange man because he allowed Elon to do this and everything like that. But I'm just saying, it's like, if he took the chainsaw over to the weather service, and now we have people passing away, now we have people who lost their home, people who have so many, like, who have lost everything or almost everything. And then coming from the man who said having empathy is a weakness, unless it's his millions and billions of dollars and everything like that. It's like, I really noticed that with the, because I have a feeling the American Party that he wants to name it is going to be a lot of the far MAGA people, or it's going to be the middle MAGA people, but the middle of the MAGA people who have no empathy for anyone else, but they don't want to be all the way severely MAGA. Because I've noticed that within a lot of the Republican Party, because especially the Republican men that write me, because in my profile I say I will not date a Republican, MAGA, or Orange Man supporting guy. I won't. I will not. And some of these men, they write me like, why do you care about this? Why do you care about that? You're not even supposed to, like, see, that's why women shouldn't vote. This is why women shouldn't be in politics and all this other, proving my point. And so I'm kind of just wondering what what's going to be the demographic, because when I look at Elon and what he has done for this country so far, it's a horror story. Because also the racism and bigotry, because remember what he did on day one. Remember what he did on day one, and people wanted to celebrate and laugh and do the same thing as him. And so it's taking a U-turn back on to the main subject, because when you look at this leader and what he has done to the weather people, because I think there was about 800 of them that were let go and fired. Now, do you see why having such a small government isn't that great? Especially when you have one of the largest countries in the world, especially when you have such a large country where weather-wise, things change drastically. It's like things that happen in New York are never going to happen in Texas, and or they're going to be very different. And then seasons wise, we, like, northern states are not going to experience the same kind of summer that the South has, like Alabama, Texas, New Mexico, and stuff. At the same time, New Mexico, Texas, Georgia, Louisiana, they're not, in North Carolina, South Carolina, all of them, or whatever, they're not going to experience winters like we do up north. And then those states in the middle, oh, like, yeah, the states in the middle, sometimes it gets entertaining and interesting with what goes down in the sandwich of the states and everything like that. But because even with the weather, farmers need accurate weather forecasting for their crops. And then when it comes to sports, we need to know what's going on, like if it's going to be safe for the players and the watchers or the people in the stadiums. And it's like, I mean, there's so many different reasons why we need accurate weather. But now, I think now a lot of people see that the forecast, that weather, and those 800 people that were let go, they are crucial to our American system in order to keep people alive. Now, I think people might see that, yes, maybe from far in the back of the room, you don't see what's coming, you don't see the importance, but once you get up close, especially with what just happened over the weekend, now you see the importance of science. Now you see the importance of weather forecasting. Because now we have lost little girls from that camp and many other people, and it's awful and terrible. But at the same, like, what are we hearing Republicans say? Oh, we're keeping you in our prayers. Oh yeah, you should have kept those newscasters with their jobs. That's what you should have kept. Like, yeah, instead of doing this, like, okay, let's pray that you're going to hire these people back. Let's pray that you're going to have some common sense and realization, and like hire those who were talented and helped keep our society, keep our country safe. Let's get them back to what they were doing. But I doubt they're going to do that. I doubt they care, because they didn't care when they took away many people's Medicaid away. But yeah, we're still going to see what happens then. But it's like, if you, and I've said this in a previous episode about a week or two ago, but when Biden had that State of the Union a few years ago, and he said that Republicans were going to do this, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene had the nerve to stand up and call him a liar. Okay, now, who's lying now? Okay. Because you want to take the Medicaid, you want to take newscasters away, you want to take experiments or science experiments away that are crucial and would help people even with cancer and other diseases and other health issues and stuff like that. And it's like, I think even there was like some for heart health, because yeah, America, that's one of the top reasons why a lot of Americans pass away is heart issues and stuff, because of our high cholesterol and our eating behaviors and things like that. But then RFK Jr., yeah, didn't he say not to listen to him about health advice, but then he wants to take chlorine out of the water, which would hurt those who may not be able to go to the dentist. And then he had the nerve to get into the water. Like, I think it was a New York. I forgot where it was located, but it had fecal matter in it, and people told him, "Don't you get in that water," and he did. I think even with the granddaughter, ill. Yeah. I hope she went to the doctor right after, because, but I don't know. It's just like, when it comes to the American Party that Elon has, like, part of me wonders, is it going to be the people that are against science? It's like, because a lot of the people who like Elon also like RFK Jr. So I'm just trying to wonder, what is the demographic going to be like? And don't worry, I'm going to do research another, like, I keep saying I'm going to do episodes, but then I never do it, but I plan to. I hope to. Because I want to look at and compare the demographics, or the people who follow, like, the orange guy, RFK Jr., and Elon. Because if Elon wants to start this party, I'm just wondering, like, what is it going to look like? And especially, how much of the Republican Party and how much of the Democratic Party are going to be swooned by him. So, because like yeah, I'm just wondering about the core of the philosophy, and what they're going to be for, and what they're going to fight for, and what changes they're going to have. Because when I see the changes from Elon's little chainsaw, it's not looking too good. And also, You have to remember what that one Republican woman said during that political meeting or whatever with her constituents. Everybody's gonna die. So, yeah, I want to know what she's saying right now. I want to know what she has to say right now. Because if you guys did not fire them, if you guys did not fire them, then those people would still be alive. Or is she still going to say we're all going to die anyway? And or is she going to walk? Oh, which grave site is she going to walk through today? Which grave site? I want to know. I want to know what location. Because this is pathetic. This is awful and terrible. And so if you're going to even consider joining this third party, like first, it's like you need to look at the actions of the leader. Because if he is trying to start this party, it's like I always say, look at the before and the after. Look at the cause and the effect. What caused him to want to start this party? Because he was all Republican. He paid, like he even said that he helped pay for the orange guy to win. He had a lotto where he would give people $1 million, $1 million each, but they had to sign something saying they were going to vote for this orange man. But then all of a sudden they got into, like, once that great nightmare of an ugly bill got up with, and all of a sudden he flipped a switch. So I'm just wondering what is going to happen, because even the orange guy even said that he might send Elon back to Africa too. Oh yeah, and we can't forget how ICE keeps trying to kick certain people out, but now they keep trying to bring certain Africans in. So yeah, we have to really think who's going to be a part of this party, because like I keep hearing bad things of what's going on with the mm, Caucasian people that are from Africa. It's like they're not seeing the American dream like the orange guys. I guess they think the orange guy told them that it was going to be like. But now I'm wondering what their reaction is. I'm wondering what their reaction is when they look at the TV and look at almost 100 people who died in Texas. I wonder what they're thinking about how our president is taking care of the citizens and how now he is saying it is not his fault. I am just wondering, how do they see America the same as they used to? Or okay, maybe I shouldn't even say used to, because they probably, some of them, they don't even care because they're like, it's not me. But I just want to know, from 2 months to 6 months prior to now, how has their interpretation of America been? Because our country has, I mean, again, from the back row, to a lot of people, it might have changed a lot, but I've been in the front row, so it hasn't changed that much to me, but it just became a lot more apparent. It's like the magnifying glass has finally reached the back of the room. But yeah, it's like I've been front row in center where I didn't need a magnifying glass. I knew of the bigotry. I knew of the classism. I knew of the hatred. I knew of the separation. I knew of all the isms, because you remember living in a disability life. It's like people hate on me and judge me, ridicule me, put me down, and say that I can't do. But then at the same time, now with Medicaid, they say that you have to work a job. But yeah, it's like when, so for those who are not able to drive, you're still gonna like, how are they supposed to get to work? But then they're gonna say get an Uber. But then if you spend all of your money getting Ubers to, like, just to get to work, to the point where you make nothing, but literally you're working to work. Literally, you're just gonna be working to work. And then which is the right job's going to hire those? Because with my degrees, I've been to job interviews, and go catch up. I already tell the nightmare, illegal, awful, terrible questions these people ask, or why don't you just get your legs fixed? Just go get fixed. You're too pretty to walk like that anyway. The clients are just gonna be like entertained by your walking, or it's gonna be a distraction if you walk around like that. But yeah, Republicans, yeah, it's like they're clapping and laughing and oh, they love it. And if they don't, I want to know why, because you voted for this. You voted for Project 2025, right? Right? You voted for these people to get fired, right? Right? So if you voted for this, you voted for these deaths. If you voted for these deaths, don't you dare it's like, oh, I'm gonna keep you in my prayer. If you like, if you are a part of the reason why they like, oh, now you wanna pray. Okay, like I said, we need to pray for these weather people to get their jobs back. Not just pray, we need to demand for these weather people to get their jobs back. Because how many more situations are we going to allow for the things like this to happen? How many people are we going to allow to have their life on the line? When we haven't had talented people that helped our country be safe. When we have such a large country that like, yeah, it's like you want a small government, but the smaller government we have right now weather-wise cannot handle it. And now I'm wondering, down the timeline, when are we going to realize of other mishaps and other mistakes, especially within the science industries? Because don't think I forgot about the scientists and the science, like especially cancer. Because in other countries, they are making astounding breakthroughs with cancer and other diseases. And I think we had one for HIV and AIDS and stuff like that, but I think they tried to take that down, right? Right? But like that one Republican woman said, we're all gonna die, right? Sometimes I just wonder how how heartless are people nowadays. Because and some who don't care about science, some who don't believe in science, and some who say that they're just gonna pray, for things to get better. And it's like, yeah, okay, you can pray, but let's at the same time let's pray for the scientists to be able to make breakthroughs and things like that. And or if the scientists are frustrated, let's pray that they have a calming, or let's even give them a spa day. That's what we need to do. That's what we should do. But I want the scientists, the meteorologists, to get their jobs back, because now we have a sample of what can happen. We lost almost 100 lives, and we still have people missing. So at the end of the day, I'm saying let's hire these people back, because this is only an example of what can happen down the line, especially with weather, but then also other diseases and things like that as well. We have to look at the leadership that we have. Well, the quote unquote leadership, because it's a hot mess, in my opinion, though. In my opinion. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.